This is a great song. And not
Someday I'll walk out of here.
someday I'll walk out of here again. That is one fantastic song. I love that song. It should be the motto. It's sort of like we're a trap, right? And now we're soon free. Anyway, today's the 20th. I told you guys this is rolling along. It's my escape series of how I escaped out 10 years ago in July, right around now. So I'm kind of leading you up to it, what all happened. If you missed it, listen to the earlier escape series. There's I think this is 10, right? So we're moving along. Anyway, the 20th, as I told you last night, I had posted Magoo Left the Building. And that's a very key thing because it explains that I'm not a guy, which they thought I was on the internet 10 years ago. I'm Tori Bazazian at the time. I was still married. And, I was an OT7. Basically I was leaving Scientology. That was it. And don't call me unless you're not going to hassle me to try to get me back in, basically is what I was saying. So I make that post last night at 2:45 in the morning, which was really the 19th. Today, now, I forget if it's the 19th, 20th, but anyway, right around then I make the post. The next day, I think remember all these critics online for the 4 weeks I made the 4,000 posts on ARS, which was Alt Religion Scientology at the time, and really the only news group where they were talking about Scientology, people out, people in, that kind of stuff. I'd made 4,000 posts in 4 weeks sitting in my dining room, right? And people thought I was a guy. Then they thought I was David Miscavige. Then because I was making so many posts, they thought it had to be flag because I was going to bed at 4 in the morning, which is really 7 o'clock at flag. So they thought, it's the flag land base, right? But point being, they didn't really know anything about me. So now I post Magoo Left the Building, thinking they're all going to be there, right? I knew I was going to lose a lot of my friends, but I figured these people had all said, hey, we'll be here, we'll catch you when you make the leave, right? So I post Magoo Left the Building. Now, I don't know if Yachty already had my computer hooked up like I said, which I'm pretty sure he did. So he may have even started this whole hate thing against me, but I'm telling you, it was unbelievable. I mean, I knew the Scientologists were all going to turn on me, but these people online just went on and on and on. Don't trust Magoo, she's really OSA, blah, 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 just went on and on and on. And they were even telling Andreas, don't talk to me because I'm really dangerous, I'm really a top secret agent, all this stuff. I mean, it was really freaky, right? So now I call Stacy. She's like, okay, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I'm so freaked out. I got to get out of here. And like, I think I already told you, she says, okay, get to LAX tomorrow and we'll have a ticket there for you. She says, why don't you come here and just rest? So I say, okay. And she says, go to LAX tomorrow and we'll pick you up at the airport. And I'm like, okay. And I mean, this is really weird. Like I said, now these guys that I thought were all black are my friends, and the guys that I thought were my friends have turned into all black. I mean, it's very, very, very weird for me, right? So she says that to me. I say, okay. I call her back and say, I'm not going to pick it. I'm not going to speak out. I'm not going to make videos. I'm just leaving under the radar. She says, I'm only doing for you what I wish someone had done for me when I left the SEAL. That's it. We don't expect anything from you. Just come here and relax. So that's what I go on, right? I go to see my best friend who used to work in the Guardian's office and had walked off the flag land base because she was so sick of sec checking and stuff like that. She's a Class A. And I thought she'd be like for me. And so I tell her, hey, I'm leaving. I'm done because of all the abuses, that's going on, DM switching the tech, changing the definition of FN, just on and on and on. And I say, I'm leaving. And I thought she'd be for me. And instead, she says, if you never say another word about Scientology, I'll still talk to you. And I'm like, I say to her, are you kidding me? You're like the biggest mouth in Los Angeles. And I'm like the second biggest mouth. So for you to say to me, don't say anything, is ridiculous. Good luck, have a great life. And I walk out. That's it. We're at a coffee shop, and I'm like, bye. So there's that. I know I also have the Scientology Parishioners League, where I'm still working underneath the vice president at Celebrity Center as the executive director of the Scientology Parishioners League. And one of the people that worked at that was Joel Phillips, right? They had not started Religious Freedom Watch at this time. But Joel was one of the people working there. So I call up Joel, and I say, hey, Joel, this is Tori. He said, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. I'm really fine. And I said, and by the way, I'm leaving the Church of Scientology. And he starts laughing. He just bursts out laughing. And I say, it's not a joke. I'm leaving. And he's like, you're kidding. And what happened? And I go, you know what? It's too long to explain, but you're now the executive director. That's it. I'm out of here. Good luck. I suggest you start looking online and reading and finding out what's really going on. That's it, right? So now, and I think I wrote to Mike Rinder a letter saying, explaining why I was leaving, because he was the head of, kind of OSA at the time. And I think I wrote to him a letter. Anyway, that's a whole nother story, but I had written him a letter saying I was leaving also. Okay, so there you go. I leave. That's my leaving thing. Now, people all day long are writing, don't trust me, I'm OSA op, I'm a secret operative, which I think was probably run by Bill Yachty, because Bill Yachty had 10 different accounts opened up and was running them as a critic, as a Scientologist, as a crippled, as a blind person. He's always all these people that you can never meet, right, in person. So that's always one thing you can check. If there's somebody that's saying creepy stuff, always ask, has anybody ever met Joe, right? Because Yachty is always all these other identities that nobody can ever meet. Okay, so now I'm packing my clothes. I'm leaving, right? I'm leaving the next day. And I call and I set up a van to come pick me up at like 8 in the morning. And I'm ready. They've got a ticket. They give me the time. I get the van. And who shows up at my house at night? Bill and his wife, Kathy. And they were our best friends, except for this whole top secret mafia thing, me having the big upset with Bill, so it was sort of like things had really changed for me with them. But anyway, he shows up as my quote unquote auditor and friend now, and Kathy, and it's like, what's going on? And I'm like, you know what? No, we're not going to go into this right now. Because I just know this is an OSA handling from them. They're trying to, basically invalidate anything I know, make it wrong, make me not go. And all I want to do is go and meet these people. I don't really know. I don't want to read stuff on the internet. I didn't spend a lot of time. I hadn't read Barefaced Messiah. I hadn't read Messiah or Madmen or A Piece of Blue Sky, which are all books from people that were either in Scientology or they'd studied L. Ron Hubbard or all that. I hadn't read any of those books or anything. I hadn't read hardly anything on online. The only thing I'd read was Mary Tabayoyan's thing, ladies, if you're thinking of joining the Sea Org, read this. That was really it. That was it that I knew about it. I was leaving because of David Miscavige, because he had screwed us over and over and over on OT7. I was pretty sure he was running this top secret mafia thing that was stopping free speech on the internet, and I just didn't like the guy. And that's why I was leaving. That was it. So I knew Yachty was part of this whole gang thing, running the volunteers, which I was part of. So I was just like, I'm not going to get into it. That's it. Good luck. I hope you guys read stuff on the internet. That's it. Goodbye. And I don't even remember what all went on in the conversation, but I just know it was like, goodbye, take care, I'm going to bed. And my intention at this point was to go to bed and get some sleep, because I had a big day the next day, which was getting on the plane going to Clearwater, Florida to meet these SPs. It was just like, my whole world had just flipped so fast. It was just so unbelievable. But you know what? I had sort of given up my whole, just like I trusted in higher powers. I felt like I did have people or spirits or God or whatever you call it that was helping me. And I had faith in that. I did. And I believed that, my dad, I told you, his spirit was with me going, do it, make the leap, go. I'm with you. You're going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. And that's why I always have Tory/Magoo, because his nickname is Magoo. And his courage is always with me, despite what all the other people, Church of Scientology, have slimed me with and stuff like that. So anyway, there you go. I have a very hard time sleeping all night. I'm not going to tell you what happens the next day until tomorrow, but it's a very, very exciting time. Isn't this amazing how the phone is ringing? I've had a lot of great calls. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for all your help. Peace out. Bye-bye.